Matthew 6:33, it says, seek ye what? First what? The kingdom, and then all of that things shall be added unto you. You know what? Jesus says, if Jesus is saying, seek ye first the kingdom, there must be something that he understands about the kingdom that we don't. There is something about this topic, this thing we call the kingdom, that is so hidden, that is so deep, that God understands, that we still don't. So he said, seek to understand the kingdom. When he says seek the kingdom, it doesn't mean try to get into the kingdom. No, no. When you got saved, you're already in the kingdom. So what he is saying is, to seek the kingdom is saying, seek to understand it. Seek to understand the principles of the kingdom. Seek the advancement of the kingdom. Seek the promotion and the victory of the kingdom. Seek ye first the kingdom of God. It didn't say seek ye the church. We, religiously, sometimes we are made to think that the only kingdom of God you will ever find anywhere is the church. That the kingdom of God is only in the church. Oh my God, have mercy on us, Jesus. As long as we think like that, we limit God. When we think God is just in church, we reduce God. By the way, God is omnipresent. By the way, God is supposed to be everywhere. By the way, the kingdom of God and his spirit is in you. We don't need to get to some damn building to make the kingdom come. Jesus never had a building, so he never had the kingdom of God. We've missed it so much that because of that kind of thinking, that the kingdom is synonymous to the church almost, and the church is the kingdom. If people, we have all this potential in our churches that are sitting down and are wasting away, just doing some things and giving their strength to the world and to the gods of this world, because they fulfill themselves in the world. They could release their talents in the world. They could release themselves, their strength. They give their strength to the things of the world that perish and they die and they achieve something, but not for the kingdom, because we have not allowed them. Because we tell them, you must be part of it. If you want to do something, you must be part of what. Who allowed you to do that? Why should you do that? You must be part of the church. Did you get the blessing? Did you get the permission? Did who told you to do that? Is you what? We're in trouble. We want them to just be church, just do things in the church. But really, the kingdom is in you. You are supposed to be an automatic extension of the kingdom wherever you go. You are supposed to be a kingdom carrier. Listen closely. The church was never meant to even be 1% of the kingdom. The kingdom of God, the church will never be able to embrace the kingdom. The church prepares the army. The church prepares the people, the carriers that multiply the kingdom of God. So they extend the kingdom beyond the borders of the church. The church, it cannot ever embrace the whole kingdom. The kingdom is too much, it's too huge. It's all of us put together doing. Every one of us is supposed to be reaching more people. Every member of the church is supposed to be reaching more people than any local congregation. Every member is supposed to be touching more people than any local congregation will ever do. But the local congregation is there to train, to equip, and to bind all these people together and give them direction and give them purpose and give them the strength to overcome the world. But the reason for the existence of every member should be to find his own all our own creative way of carrying the kingdom in his own unique way. In our own unique way. You don't serve God by coming to church on Sunday and sitting down listening to pastor. You don't serve God yet. You don't have a ministry yet. Every one of us is supposed to serve God in your own ministry by discovering where you are sent to, what is in you, what is buried in you, what is put in you to serve God with. What are the gifts, what are the abilities that you are supposed to use to extend God, to promote the kingdom? You don't promote the kingdom by sitting in church. No, you are supposed to come here to be equipped, to be trained, to go out there to promote the kingdom. So we're all deceiving ourselves. We say we are serving God. We come to church and sit down. We've given God his own portion. No, your whole life is supposed to be about serving God. Everything you do every day is supposed to be about serving him. Every day you are supposed to just be filled. You cannot be created by God just to go to a job, to go to work, and to work with some papers. For God created you and gave you 70 years of life just to make some papers together in some offices or go to some companies and do some things. And God cannot waste all those resources on you just to be a secretary or a millionaire or count paper. No, it's because God has his kingdom in you, so that you could go and promote it. Whatever your job is, whatever your occupation is, that is not the reason for your creation. Because those things get perished anyway. You die and leave them. But those are the platforms. As an engineer, as a banker, as a secretary, those are the platforms that you have. Those are your pulpit. As the pastor has his own pulpit in church. But you use those platforms as a doctor to promote the kingdom. So you are really not a doctor. You are a disguised kingdom carrier. So you are really not supposed to just be a secretary. You are a disguised pastor. You are not a businessman. You are supposed to be you are actually a disguised apostle. You are not some singers or some, you are a disguised representation of God. You are a disguised evangelist. We are made for the kingdom life. We are made to increase the kingdom. We are made to promote the kingdom. The reason why you are giving health is for you to promote the one that has created you and gave you life. The reason you are giving intelligence and sense is for you to be able to advance that kingdom. We are created for the kingdom life. There is something in you that is eternal. You are made to be his image through art, through sports, through music, to promote his image. You are made, first of all, to be his image. In his own image, you are made for him and for his lordship and rulership. We call that kingdom. Are you listening to me? So that's why I'm speaking about the absolutism of the kingdom of God and the relativism of the church. In every sphere of life, we are supposed to be busy doing this, raising you up, sending you to strategic places, to found, to establish the truth of the kingdom, the values of the kingdom. This church is existing just for this, to do things. Two things the church is existing for: to found, establish, to raise up people to establish and found establish the kingdom principles, kingdom truth in every society, and to uphold that truth as the pillar, the foundation and the pillar. To hold it, to uphold truth in the society, to uphold the values of excellence, the values of the kingdom of God in every part of the society, not just in church. How do you uphold truth here in the building? We go home, it's left empty. We're supposed to uphold truth in the fabrics of the society. Anybody listening to me? Who are the guys? Hillary. Who are the guys I was talking about? There are 7 men, and Pastor Chris must come. I mean, Pastor Phil must come. Pastor Phil, you. Yeah. Because these are kingdom people. I'm proud of them. We have 5 of them. Yeah. Who is a great pastor from New Zealand? We are talking about a great pastor from New Zealand. Yeah, let him come. Yeah, let him come. Let him come. Let him come. Let him come. Yeah, yeah. And you have any sports champion? Any champion in sports? Also? Yeah, let him come. So, let me go quickly. Let me make the point. Let me make the point. No, don't worry. Don't look for that. It's okay. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? Listen closely. I wanted to read for you, but no time. You just write it down. Matthew chapter 13, from verses 31 to 33. It says, the kingdom of God is like a tree, which is, it's like a seed. It's like seed planted on the field. And one of the seed grew and became a tree. That a tree, like a mustard seed. You remember? The kingdom of God like a mustard seed that is planted, grain of seed that is planted in the field. Now, later on, Jesus was telling us, listen closely, you will miss this if you don't listen closely. He said the field is what? Is the world. Is the world. The field is the world. And the seed, the what? The seed is the word sometimes, or the seed are the children of the kingdom. Listen closely, but the mustard seed is the kingdom, the mustard seed. So he said, the kingdom of God is like you planting the mustard seed in the field. And later on, the seed, which is the smallest, it used to be the smallest, the seed, the mustard seed, the smallest out of all seeds, grew and took over the whole forest. You remember that? And it became the strongest, the biggest tree in the whole forest. That is the word. Listen closely to what church is supposed to do. The church is, as the foundation and the pillar of the church, is supposed to be releasing seeds, grains of the kingdom, seeds of the kingdom, children of the kingdom, all of you, sons of the kingdom, to release them into the field of this world and plant them, infiltrate them, cause them to permeate into every system of the earth, so that they, as the grains, as the system, as the seeds, they will grow in the world with the values of the kingdom until they become so big they overtake and overcome the systems of this world. That is what the kingdom of God is supposed to be. Do you remember that? Then, that's why I needed then, is that seed of the kingdom. The church is supposed to be releasing seeds to the world and integrating them, not in the church, not separating them from the world. My God, we got it all wrong. We are supposed to, we are supposed to bring them out of the world. I mean, out of the, Jesus said, you are not of the world, but I don't say I should take you from the world. No, we don't take them from the world. We don't isolate them from the world. We get them saved, not physically isolating them. We bring them into the kingdom, which is not physical building. It's a kingdom in the church, to train them so that they might be sent back to the world and infiltrated and planted and make them to permeate every system of the world. He said the seeds were planted in the field. The field is the world. Every aspect of life you could think about. There's psychology and anthropology has come to the conclusion there are 7 main spheres of life we have. The spiritual, social spheres of life. That's where you have family, women, children, spiritual, and church, others. That's the spiritual part, spiritual and social. That's number 1. Sphere of influence. So there are people that we are releasing to fill that whole sphere of influence. Plant churches, do spiritual stuff. That is just one sphere of life. Ministry, non-governmental organizations, families, children, women. That is just one sphere of life. The second sphere of life is the economy or business world. That is another sphere of life. It's a whole sphere of life. Under every sphere, you could have 10 different spheres. 10, or no, maybe hundreds, maybe thousands different dimensions. Computer world, industry, any kind of economy. So we are supposed to release people from our churches to invade all the spheres of economy. All the spheres of social life and spiritual life. The third area of influence is media, which your pastor is doing so well. Media, we're supposed to be releasing people as seeds, planting them in the media world, releasing them to be to releasing them to be the head, so that they could take over, like the mustard seed. They came in as small grain, but they grow and become the biggest source of influence and take over that world for God. That is what it's talking about, that thy kingdom come. The kingdom will only come when we go in as small seeds and grow and take over. Then apart from that, we have the educational system. Education, universities, schools, high schools, educational systems, everything. We are supposed to be raising up people to release them to these areas of life, like education, and make the programs be written according to the values and the standards of the kingdom of God. How many did I mention? 4? I mentioned 4. Now, the other one is politics. We're supposed to raise up people for politics. Because if we don't raise the sons of God and the seeds of the kingdom to go into politics, homosexuals will soon be ruling us. The lesbians will soon be enforcing their own values upon us. We're supposed to send the people out of the church to take the values of the kingdom to those places and establish them. Number 6 is entertainment, art, culture. That's what he's doing. He's gifted in it. Some people want us just to stand behind the pulpit. Don't be interested in art. Don't tell us anything about politics. Just close yourself. Just lock the door. Just be, as long as you are in your church, no problem. As long as you are in your church buildings, just go to the buildings. Don't come out of the buildings. Just lock yourselves up. Don't disturb us and we don't disturb you. Just don't tell us how to live. Don't go into politics. Don't go into art. Don't go into education. Don't go. That is what Satan wanted us to do. And that is what we are doing right now. But the kingdom of God, he said in that same chapter, Matthew chapter 13, he said it's like a yeast. Like yeast that is put into a bowl. Yeah, and the yeast take over the whole bowl and that is the kingdom of God. He said that's the way the kingdom of God is supposed to be. The kingdom of God is supposed to be like the yeast that is planted in the world system that takes over the world system. We are not supposed to be like church coming out of the yeast, out of the bowl, and we will never be effective. So that is what he's done. So if we say no, you must just be the pastor, you must just be in church, you must just be what? We're killing the kingdom. Look at him, progressive, 21st century pastor, unique. Look at him. Nobody like him in the world, I know. A pastor. He is a pastor, but he didn't just cut himself off and say, I'm just a pastor. He's one of the best artists you have. He's going to business. He's encouraging you to go to business. He's not locked up. That is the way you will never, there are some people he will reach as an artist, he will never have reached as a pastor. There are some people he will reach as in business, he will never have reached as a pastor. You cannot, we reduce God, we reduce the kingdom, we do injustice to the kingdom when we don't push our people out of the church to go into the areas of life God has called them to. So that is the sixth sphere of life. The seventh sphere of influence is sports. It's an old world of sports. If you come to our church everybody must tell me what area out of the 7 they belong to. Of course, every one of them has about 100 or 200 subdivisions under them, but everybody must know what he's called to. Everybody. That is why they pray. That is why they are fasting. That's why they go to school. That's why they get education. That's why they get knowledge, so that they might be able to actually live and bring God to the area of influence they feel God has called them to. That's why they are praying every day. That's why they are fasting. That is why they are doing everything they are doing. They have a mission in life. They are living for that. The kingdom is bigger than the church. Good example. In business, how many people do you reach through your business?
We have 25,000 active clients.
A year, how many do you reach?
Over 100,000.
100,000 just because of business. He's a teacher. How many people do you reach?
100,000 a year.
100,000 a year. What do you do?
I pray in the parliament.
What parliament?
In Canberra.
You see? Politics. Talk to me. How many people do you reach? Your tapes? Do you produce records? How do people in a year? Right now you produce for 800,000.
Yeah, almost 1 million. Yeah.
Almost 1 million or more.
Yeah.
1 million people because of his gift and his talent. You reach through the pulpit like me. He's like me. Pulpit, social works. That is for the past, but that is just one dimension. How many churches do you say you had?
We got 30 churches.
30 churches. That is one dimension. Now, and how many people on regular basis, like day in, day out, who come to your church in a year?
And all the churches are just mine?
No, all the churches.
Maybe 3,000 or 4,000.
3,000 or 4,000. Listen, that is what the point I was trying to make. The church can reach face to face about 3,000 or 4,000 in a year, but look at this guy, how much he is reaching. Look at the art, how much he is reaching. Look at the business, how much he is reaching. Look at the educational system, how much he is reaching. Look at politics, how much he is reaching. Hello, pastors, wake up! Don't limit the kingdom of God. Hello, listen to me. Listen to me. Set your people loose. Let them be kingdom carriers and let them go and establish the kingdom everywhere. God bless you.